Blackbird's a story of a woman named Noni. We meet her when she's 10 years old at a talent contest. She has a single mom, a white mother, and her mom realizes that she has a talent for singing and believes that this is what's going to get him out of poverty. And so they go to this talent contest, and she gets second place, which would seemingly be great, but her mother is pretty crushed about it. And tells her to throw away the trophy because, do you want to be a runner-up or do you want to be a winner? And Noni, at that moment, sees the determination in her mother, makes that choice and tosses the trophy. And we cut to her 15 years later, and she is, in the music video with nothing on, singing about some pretty aggressive things. And it's really the question of what happened in those 15 years from that sweet little girl in glasses to this character, Noni. Noni now, as an adult, is a woman who is trapped in this hypersexualized persona and doesn't see any way out after she wins a Billboard award, realizing that this is what people love and want from her. And in a moment of clarity, she ends up on the balcony of her luxury suite thinking about jumping, and the cop outside her door thankfully comes in and saves her, and that really kicks off their love story. And in that this is a man who sees her at her worst moment and still sees the good in her, and that's something that she doesn't feel she has in her life. She doesn't get that from her mom, the unconditional love, and that's really what ultimately she's searching for. And through his love, she's able to find that and find it in herself and find her voice. Kid Culprit is Noni's man. He put her on. He was in the studio, and Noni was there trying to do a demo, and Macy, being the woman who she is, she heard that he was in the studio and kind of bogarted in there and said, "My daughter can sing." And Kid Cobra took one look at her, and she's gorgeous, and on top of that, she actually can sing, and put her on one of his records, and it blew up. And what continued to blow up is the rumors that they were together, and Macy rode with that, and the label rode with that. And it's kind of the thought of it like a Ja Rule and Ashanti, and that whole thing of the hip hop artist and the R&B singer, and it was just this couple that was put together for press. But what was interesting is when I first wrote it, it was completely a surface relationship. But as we got into rehearsals, MGK and Gugu and I, we just found it more interesting that there were early on some real feelings there. Gugu is not Noni, and this is not her world, and she just dove into it. And it was really important for me to surround her with the real people, which is why I went after Lorianne and The Dream, and for hair, Kim Kimble, who does Beyonce, and Anita Gibson, who did her makeup, did Lauryn Hill. And I just wanted to surround her with the real people who could feed her that world as well. And she just sucked all of it up. And I mean, more than anything, the trust that she gave me, because this character is, the clothes that she wears, the songs that she sings, it is such a departure. But if you look at what's out there today, we have to compete with that to make this story work. And she dove in and trusted me, and she's dope. And she's got craft. That's the most exciting thing as well. She comes from Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts in London. And you, as a director, you want that from your actors, and it's that craft that she brings to the role. Kaz is played by Nate Parker, and I worked with Nate on Secret Life of Bees. He came in at the last minute when an actor dropped out, and we had such a good director-actor relationship, and I think he's dope. I first saw him in Great Debaters, and I really thought, who's this guy? This guy is going to be our next. And so it was, when it came time for this, and it being a love story, the question was who's that guy? Who could be Kaz? And, there's not a lot of guys in this age range, and the whole thing of, we don't have stars, but I felt like he, like Gugu, was somebody that is like this, and he just needs that one great role to propel him. And he's great to work with. He's very giving as well, and very focused and specific. And it was great to put those two together, and saw the chemistry immediately. Minnie came in and I met with her. And, my only concern initially was like, because she's so youthful, and would that work, even though that's what I wanted. And, but once meeting her, she so got the character. And ironically, the day before I was to meet with her, Miley Cyrus was on the VMAs and did that infamous performance. And Minnie had actually tweeted something. And it was a comment on it, but it wasn't disrespectful. It was just truthful. And I was like, she gets it. And she's in this world. And then when I talked to her, just her upbringing is phenomenal and so ties to what we were doing and her connection to Black culture. And it just made sense and it was exciting. And I mean, she brought so much to this character that, again, on the page, it could have been a very one-dimensional person. And as a writer, to have somebody take your words and take them to another level, and that's what I feel she did every scene. It was just interesting to see this persona that's MGK just kind of go away, and I saw this kid. And then once he started auditioning, he just has this raw, natural gift, and that's very, I saw a lot of rappers for this, and he stood out so far above the rest. He has a real natural ability, and I needed that foundation to build on. But he auditioned 4 times, and the fact that he kept coming back, he flew himself in twice, like showed me how bad he wanted it and how hard he was willing to work. And, the first time he met with Gugu, it's like, you could see the chemistry there too. And I started seeing the dynamic of that relationship change. And he was great. There's 4 songs in the movie, original songs by The Dream, Masterpiece, Private Property, Come On Boy, which is a song that we hear on the radio, and then Blackbird at the end of the movie. So I love them all. I will only say Private Property is my favorite just because that was the very first song that Dream sent to me. And I didn't know what to expect, and to hear it and know we're going to be great was a really cool feeling. And there's just something, it's just hot. Like, you hear it and you get it immediately. And it so speaks to the character and who she is and what she's singing about. But there's also a song that you would hear on the radio and would bump on the radio. And, it's so, this is a music film. You want a hot soundtrack. You want these songs to live on and also help sell the film. And I'm just excited by those 4 original songs and then the songs that will be inspired by the movie. And, it's a love story, so you need those great songs over the montages. And I feel that, again, with the Dream stamp on this, that just brings great artists to us as well. So very excited about the soundtrack. This is really a movie about a woman who is searching for who she is and searching for her worth. And she does that by finding her own voice and having the courage to break free from what's easy, to speak for herself and find herself and hope that people will respect her and love that real person as opposed to what's been manufactured and being fed to the masses as what we're supposed to love.